found a Raven Guard bolt pistol in PvP. I was looking at all the weapon skins for the guns on PvP and found this, and has it been announced yet? This seems new to me. Alright, so yeah, apparently there's a handful of cosmetics we may have missed or just haven't been announced. Maybe they are cosmetics that jumped into the PTS by accident. Who knows? Who knows? But I'll tell you what, this does look very cool. Now, is this a bolt pistol cosmetic? Probably, right? This silencer is likely cosmetic. However, I have to admit, unless you can put this on the burst bolt pistol, which the functionality is probably way different, I can't imagine replacing my burst bolt pistol with a silencer on a bolt pistol. I will admit, though, that it does look very cool. It does look very cool. But the burst bolt pistol effectively saved the bolt pistol. I just can't see myself taking off the heroic just so I can put on a silencer on the bolt pistol. So maybe this is cut content that found its way into the game or something. But hey, you know what? I'll give it a 9 out of 10 for cool points. Just, yeah, personally, I can't find myself replacing the burst bolt pistol with a cosmetic. That is wild. But yeah, like I said, there's actually a handful of cosmetics that we have missed, and I think it's kind of cool to showcase some of this stuff just to see how people feel about it. But yeah, obviously, there's not a bolt pistol cosmetic that is going to make me want to nerf my weapon, you know? The Blood Angel's jump pack is not in the PTS though, so hey, I'm glad somebody was able to find this. It does look pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. I've seen some people complain about the wings and how they're like not actual wings, they're just kind of like stapled on essentially, and they're blaming Games Workshop for that. Not 100% sure what that implies. Like, I don't know why Games Workshop would have an issue with putting larger wings on the Assault class in Space Marine 2, right? I'm not too sure why they would want to do that. I feel like Games Workshop, they probably have a certain vision for some of the cosmetics they have, where they think, you know what? The Assault in Space Marine 2 just isn't legendary enough for actual wings, which I don't know if I feel that way. To be completely honest, to me, the characters we have in the game, they feel like they could be legendary enough to get something like, you know, actual Blood Angel wings for the Blood Angel champion Assault jetpack. Something like that. And not to mention, tactical already looks super flashy, you know? So yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit confused off the top of my head why Games Workshop would have an issue with certain cosmetics. But yeah, I am new to this world. This is definitely the first year I've been in Warhammer, and yeah, hearing players like, you know, sneak diss Games Workshop here and there, that's definitely come up. So not too sure what the story is behind that, or why Games Workshop would want to effectively gimp a jetpack for the Assault class in Space Marine 2. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. All right, so here is the jetpack without the data mined, you know, the data mine filter. Yeah, some people just mentioned that because the Assault class isn't firstborn, that's probably why he doesn't have the wings, actually. So, you know what? Honestly, that makes sense. That is fair. That is fair. But yeah, dude, it looks cool. It looks cool. Yeah, again, I don't think Games Workshop would want cosmetics to look worse. I don't think Games Workshop would actually make the devs, you know, just watered down cosmetics, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. I think at the very least, Games Workshop should appreciate that this game is bringing in a lot of new players to enjoy their universe. So yeah, why not? Why not bring out the cool stuff, you know? And you know what? There's probably a lot of cool stuff on the way as well. But hey, you know what? I'm satisfied with this. If I go for a Blood Angel Assault class, this is definitely going to be a key component of doing that for sure. Chapter specific bear heads. All right, yeah, looking at the boys, they're looking pretty good here. Chapter specific is pretty funny though. Yeah, White Scar head name. Obviously you can see the scars. Yeah, that'll do it. that'll do it. Blood Angel head name. All right, interesting. I mean, yeah, he looks a bit like a vampire. Dude, this is actually really cool, man. This is really cool. At one point, I think I'm going to start appreciating the bare head cosmetics. I just don't know if I'm there yet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Maybe I need some more true solo runs to really feel like I deserve a helmetless Marine. Space Wolves. Yeah, dude, they are absolutely nailing the chapter-specific bear heads. I have to agree. Yeah, that's very Space Wolves. Black Templar. Dude, I like it. I like it. Wow. Dude, also the engraving right here. Oof. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Dude, yeah, hopefully we get to see these in the game soon. I mean, I'm not too sure if this was actually supposed to be patch 11 or what the deal is. But yeah, this is definitely in the game's files at the very least. And dude, it does look very, very cool. I'll give them that, dude. The bear heads, man. If they actually had the chapter-specific vibes, it feels a lot better. 100%. Words alone cannot express how disappointing it is that I can't run this in PvE. Yeah, of course we have the new Chaos customization. I still haven't jumped into PvP since patch 10, dude. I really need to figure that out because I admit, yes, this looks incredibly good. Besides this knee pad, I don't know what's going on with that knee pad. Please, Saber, let us use Chaos Armor in PvE and just add an option to make others look like vanilla Marines if they have any pieces equipped. It's such wasted effort and potential to lock them to PvP. Yeah, that helmet, dude, that helmet does look very good, I have to admit. Dude, yeah, and the studded greaves. Hopefully we get more of that, right? Hopefully we get more of that. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. I do think... Look, I agree with the fact that these look super cool and we should have more modes for them. I think this Chaos customization specifically wouldn't bother me too much. But yeah, if we had somebody who straight up looks like a Chaos Lord on our team, then it might be pretty difficult. I know this is pretty close as well, but still, dude, this still kind of just looks like Straybon just kind of, you know, just picking up armor that he finds on the ground and just slaps it on, dude. Straybon could do that. He can do that. The new helmet is giving. Yes, everyone has been memeing the new Salamander helmet as well, so yeah, let me ruin it for you guys also. There's apparently lips on this helmet that people just can't not see. So, serve queen, yes, don't y'all agree? Oh my gosh, this is so cursed, dude. This is so cursed. I'm gonna have to find a new helmet for my Salamander now. This is so unfortunate, man. But yeah, apparently apparently people have been getting a kick out of this. So yeah, I figured I'll throw this into the, you know, the cosmetics we missed part. Like, yeah, people didn't realize, man, we have a kissy face Salamander helmet, dude. That is very cool. Very glad to see that. How are you going to make chapter-specific heads and not make a Salamander's one? All right, well, here's the thing. I bet you they're going to add more chapter-specific heads. At least I hope so. At a certain point, dude, we're going to run out of helmets, man. We have so many good helmets right now. Like, seriously, when I'm going through cosmetics just looking for a good helmet, that's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to, like, commit, essentially, to a helmet. But, yeah, I mean... Look, Salamander enjoyers have been kind of in a rough spot recently. A, because they have a kissy face helmet. B, because their chapter pack doesn't come with a chest piece, which I have a theory about, by the way. I have a theory about that chest piece. I'll say it right now. The heavy champion. I have a sneaky suspicion the next heavy champion will be a Salamander. So the reason we didn't get a Salamander chest piece is because it's on the heavy. Now, that might not be the best theory, and it might not be very satisfying, but with that said, that is the class I want the Salamander chest piece for. So, I mean, if the heavy does end up being the Salamander champion, I think if we can just mix and match some of the cosmetics for that, that should be fine. But yeah, the chapter colors for the Salamanders, I really enjoy. I think they're fine, even though we only have 4. To be completely honest, I thought the Space Wolves could have used 4 as well, but they are going as lore accurate as possible. So yeah, I'll take what we can get, you know? So yeah, to be completely honest, just keep an eye on the heavy champion, because I truly think that is going to be the Salamander champion. Will be on the heavy. At least personally for me, that's where I think it's going to be. If they are adding suppressed weapons, for the love of all that is holy, Saber, please also have a version to equip that doesn't have the Raven Guard stuff on it. Love the Raven Guard, but I would like to use suppressed weapons with other chapters too. You know what, that does bring in the question. If the devs really do have a functioning suppressor, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. Even though the Bolt Sniper should have already had one, right? Yeah, the Bolt Sniper, I believe, has a suppressor on it, but maybe it's just a muzzle brake or something like that. But yeah, honestly, if they were able to pull that off, I'd be very impressed. Now, as far as, I don't think they're going to do that, what they're detailing here out in the comment, I don't think they're going to add in a suppressed bolt pistol that has other chapter colors on it. It does feel like this is like a chapter pack cosmetic or something like that. So yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with that. But still, yeah, if it's just cosmetic, I can't see myself using that over the burst bolt pistol. Also, though, as far as using weapons that have other chapter colors on it, I think you can get away with it. I get that it's not lore accurate, which makes sense, but there are some weapons that just look too cool to really, you know, really let lore limit you. For example, the combat knife, the White Scar combat knife. Man, that is a clean looking weapon, and yes, I have used that on my other Raven Guards, Blood Angels, you name it. I definitely brought out the White Scar combat knife. It is a very cool looking cosmetic, man. And yeah, honestly, with all these cosmetics we've been kind of overloaded with recently, I just want to give a kudos to the devs. I think they're doing a great job here. Even though there are definitely some shortcomings, we still have more than enough to work with right now, dude. We have so many cosmetics in this game. I've seen some people mention other games that are also good with customization, and I think those games, sure, they're good with customization, like Warframe and everything. Warframe's fun. It is definitely a fun game, but nothing makes me feel more tough. More badass. Yeah, this game is where you feel like you're a walking tank. I guess Warframe, you can feel that way too, but I feel like Warframe is definitely a little bit more flowy, you know what I mean? It's more flashy. Where this game, it can be flashy, but it's also going to be covered in blood. So that's where I like that's why I like my balance when it comes to fashion. Is if you look very loud, you know, if you can find a way to grim it up a little bit, that's where I like to see it. You know. But yeah, regardless of how you guys feel about cosmetics in this game, there's definitely some good stuff down the line. I'm actually kind of excited about the chapter-specific bear heads. Like, at first, I was kind of thinking to myself, but now I'm thinking, dude, it would be pretty cool to have the assault class without a helmet, but like full Blood Angels. That would look sick. He would look like, I don't know, he would look like he has plot armor. If you can go with the bear heads, you can effectively feel like you have plot armor. And yeah, I wish, well, not wish, but eventually, eventually I will get that good to where I can use the bear heads and feel like I too have plot armor. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Let me know in the comments if there's any cosmetics you are looking forward to the most for patch 11. Also, let me know in the comments what ended up disappointing you in the PTS for cosmetics. As far as like the PTS balance and everything goes, we're still kind of working through that, but I've noticed an uptick in gaunts without majors. So yeah, chip damage is kind of crazy in the PTS right now. But otherwise, I'm very much enjoying everything. Even the weapons that are not as good, that should get good eventually. That'll definitely be a thing when it's all said and done. I'm sure the devs are gonna buff stuff that is underperforming. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.